Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by lush, green fields, lived a bright young boy named Ethan. Ethan was smart, but he was a world-class warrior. To him, even the tiniest difficulty felt like climbing a giant mountain. If the sun was a little too hot, he'd complain about the heat. If his teacher had signed homework, he'd declare it was impossible. And if his mother asked for a simple helping hand, he would sigh dramatically and say, life was just so unfair. Slowly but surely, the villagers and his friends began to keep their distance. After all, who really enjoys being around someone who only ever sees the dark clouds and never the silver lining? The constant negativity was just draining. One evening, seeing his sons grow in isolation, Ethan's wise father, Mr. Thomas, gently called him over. "Come with me, Ethan," he said softly. "I want to show you something very important." They walked in silence to a quiet, small pond at the edge of the village, its surface still and reflective under the evening sky. Mr. Thomas handed Ethan a handful of salt. "Throw this into the pond," he instructed. Ethan did as he was told, watching the white crystals dissolve into the water. "Now," his father said, "taste the water." Ethan cupped his hands, took a small sip, and immediately spat it out, his face twisted in disgust. "Ugh, it's so bitter," he exclaimed. Without saying a word, Mr. Thomas then led him along a path to a wide, flowing river nearby. The water rushed and tumbled over the rocks, full of life and energy. Again, he gave Ethan a handful of salt and asked him to throw it into the river. Ethan tossed it in, watching it disappear instantly into the powerful current. "Now, taste this water," his father said with a knowing look. Hesitantly, Ethan scooped up some water from the river. He drank it, and a look of pure surprise washed over his face. "It's fresh," he said, amazed. "I can't taste the salt at all." Mr. Thomas placed a comforting hand on his son's shoulder and smiled. "Son," he began, "life's problems are just like this handful of salt. The amount of salt doesn't change. What changes is the container you put it in. If your heart is small, like that little pond, every problem, no matter how small, will make your life taste bitter. But if you can make your heart wide and vast, like this river, those same problems won't affect you nearly as much. They'll simply dissolve, and you can keep flowing forward." That night, Ethan lay in bed, the words of his father echoing in his mind. He replayed the scene at the pond and the river over and over. He whispered to himself in the darkness, "I don't need to get rid of my problems. I just need to grow bigger than them." The very next morning, something inside Ethan shifted. He decided to change. When his homework felt difficult, he took a deep breath and started trying instead of instantly complaining. When his mother asked for help in the kitchen, he offered it with a genuine smile. When life felt challenging or uncomfortable, he would remind himself, "I can handle this. I am the river." It wasn't easy, not at all. The old habit of worrying was strong, but every time he felt himself slipping, he pictured the small, bitter pond and the vast, fresh river. Weeks turned into months, and a beautiful transformation took place. Ethan became calmer, more resilient, and genuinely happier. People noticed the change. His friends started coming around again, drawn to his new, positive energy. His teacher praised his effort and improved attitude in class. But most importantly, for the very first time, Ethan felt a deep sense of peace within himself. Problems still came. Of course, life is full of them, but they no longer had the power to control him or sour his world. He faced each challenge like the river, flowing around and over obstacles, always moving forward. One quiet evening, as he sat by the bank of that same river, Ethan smiled to himself. He finally understood. Life isn't about having no problems, he whispered to the flowing water. It's about becoming strong enough to carry them. What about you? Are you a pond or a river? Let me know in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content that helps us all grow a little stronger. Thanks for watching.